The show will begin in 5,
4,
3, 2,
1.
Thursday night CrossFit talk with Scott Schweitzer and Jamie Latimer.
We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. We about to change the game. We out here taking names. Let our voices rise. Let them reach the skies. Hickory, dock, giving them all that we got. Kick on the door, try to knock, but nobody answered. I'm going hard and taking my chances. I keep it moving, I keep advancing, keeping it gangster.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the early edition of Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. And the reason we're doing that, and thank you so much to my co-host Jamie for accommodating me on this, but I love two things in this world. I love CrossFit and I love the Chicago Bears. And one brings me joy and one brings me pain. But I wanted to be in pain tonight for the national broadcast of their game. So we're doing it early.
What's Bajent's odds? Seeing the floor.
Washington has a great defensive line. Justin's probably going to get hit a lot. So 50-50.
I'd love to see him. I think that's so exciting.
Yeah. I just hope it's, I don't know. I don't know what I hope for anymore. I came into this season with actual hope, and this season has been crap. So, but I still watch them every week, hoping for a different outcome, and it never comes. So here we are.
Yeah.
So, a couple things on the docket today. Wanted to, everybody's making fun of your Call of Duty headset. I actually were you ever a gamer?
No, not really. I mean, no, I would say no. My son is ridiculous though.
Yeah, I was never a Call of Duty guy. Like, I was a Rainbow Six.
Oh, I played like GoldenEye, but mostly like Mario Kart would be like, I just played like, and I played a ton of Tiger Woods, PGA, like that kind of stuff. Not like football, soccer. I can't do like those fast-paced sports. But
yeah, GoldenEye is legendary as one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just thinking the military games that are out today.
No.
The game I spent the most time on in my entire life was Donkey Kong Country 64.
I liked the Donkey Kong games. Crash Bandicoot, I loved that one.
Yeah. I would be downstairs in the basement of our old place for like 16 hours, and Julie would be like, "Are you going to eat today? Or are you going to,
Our age is showing.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. But there's some CrossFit news, so we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Crash Crucible is happening in 8 days.
It's coming way too quick for me.
So I want to know, you got an invite. First of all, what was it like to now be an athlete where you get an invite to a competition and not have to go through the qualifier?
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness, because I don't think I could have handled another qualifier in this time period, right? Like, I was overwhelmed. But yeah, I was like floored when JR messaged me. Yeah, that was crazy. It was, you just super honored that even someone would think of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's so cool. Just watching your career this year, like, and where you've come from. And you actually shared something with me this morning that popped up in your memories, and like goals that you had, and where you're at today in comparison is like light years.
I know. Good old, I don't know, 95th in Wadapalooza or something. And it was probably like intermediate Wadapalooza, nowhere close. Who knows? I can't really remember the details of it, but yeah,
Yeah. So you're going to South Carolina in a week, less than a week.
Yeah, I fly out on Wednesday.
You're going to meet your coach there.
He's going to fly in on Thursday.
Ronica's going with you.
Ronica is coming. That's her. She's excited for CrossFit vacation. Not so much a vacation for me.
And so the plan is, I don't know what we're going to do with Thursday Night CrossFit Talk. We'll have to see where you're kind of at and mentally and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. We'll just stay in touch and figure that out.
Okay.
Hopefully Ronica can stay in touch with us. We can kind of bounce in throughout the weekend, see how you're doing, see how other things are going on at Crash, and we'll do some update shows throughout the weekend.
And it's my birthday Saturday while we're there.
And it's your birthday. So after you win the competition, are you going to celebrate your birthday Sunday night?
Maybe. I don't know. I have a huge family. My mom is one of 8 kids, and we're all very close. I'm very, very close with my cousins. And Michigan State game is usually right around my birthday. It happens to be on the 21st, so the following weekend when I get home. And I host the Michigan State game at my house every year, and that's like my birthday party. My other cousin's birthday is like 2 weeks from mine, so we kind of just do like a dual birthday bash. So I will be drinking then, so I feel like I should just wait. I do not need to drink 2 weekends in a row. So yeah.
So Tristan's going to meet you. It's going to be the first time you guys work together at a competition as coach and athlete. How excited are you for that?
I'm excited for him to see me work. Hopefully some of these events he gets that experience and I'm not just standing there. There's a couple that I will be able to work through, but
yeah. And we'll go through the workouts here in a second. But I do want to put this out there, and Jamie doesn't know I'm doing this. I didn't put it in my show notes. So it's going to be a surprise to her. She has to pay her way from Michigan to South Carolina. Any donations during today's show, I am putting toward Jamie's travel fund. So if anybody in the chat would like to donate to help Jamie pay for her way from Michigan to South Carolina, you shoot that in the chats today, super chats or thank yous or whatever it is that they do on YouTube. All of the proceeds we make from that today will go to Jamie's to help defray the cost of her trip to South Carolina. So
that's sweet of you.
So I want to do that. Well,
thank you.
It's not sweet of me. It's going to be sweet of them if they donate.
Yeah.
But I know that it was not a cheap trip, but it's an opportunity you can't pass up.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, just different exposure, different media, different people wanting to cover. So yeah, I definitely wanted to take the opportunity.
So
Corey,
there's a first donation. Awesome. Thank you, Corey. So I have the workouts up here. I want to kind of go through them. And just a brief, like 1 minute on each one of these, because I know that you have a tennis match to get to, and
I've got like an hour.
Okay.
Aw, Brucey.
You guys are the best. So here we go. Event 1. It is, and so what they did is they took previous workouts that existed in other realms through CrossFit. JR tweaked and modified them for his workout. Mama Schweitzer.
Oh, Cheryl.
Event 1, 2018 Games.
Aeneas
regrip. 3 rounds for time, 2 pegboard ascents, 2015 ski erg, 100-foot Zerker yoke carry, 285, 185, time cap 14 minutes. And is the masters doing the same as the individual?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So initial thoughts on this.
I am ecstatic to try a pegboard. I've never done a full pegboard. I have a half one in my gym, but I've never done a full pegboard. So, and I mean, I don't know. I like the half, of course. It's a whole lot easier, but so yeah, I'm excited to do a pegboard at a competition. I tried the Zercher yoke carry yesterday. Ooh, so my arms are like bruised.
Is that what you had up on your story?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to try to pull that up real quick.
And I tried to weigh my yoke after. I should have weighed it before, but I think my yoke is 170. We bought that off of somebody. I think my yoke is the 185-pound yoke. So empty, it should be 185. But we bought it from somebody who had it stored somewhere, and they had cut off the very top. So I think it lost a little bit of weight. So I need to practice it again with a couple 5s on there.
So I think this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's how you have to carry it.
Yes, in your elbow crook, and I am seriously bruised, like right where that was holding.
All right, let's look at that one more time. Oh, that looks awful.
And it's like, what, you got to have that low enough so that it isn't like tipping on you. Like I kept, like the first couple times I tried it, I just like would lift it and just jam those front right into the ground. But yeah, it's what I noticed. Like, I think I can survive that one, but you're like this for so long, and then pegboarding, and then I finished and I went to like straighten my arms. I was like, holy cow. And I messaged Tristan. I was like, I don't have a flip sled. So if you go to event 2, we can be done with this if you want. I don't have a flip sled, but we were trying to use a tire, and I was like, I can't even lift this thing. Like my arms are shot. So the event 1 to event 2 is going to be gross.
Yes. So
there you go.
Event 2 is 2016 regionals. Event 5 reflip, and it is 4 rounds for time: 400-meter run, 300 GHD, 7 flip sleds. So you've never done a flip sled?
Nope.
So a flip sled is way better than a pig.
That's good.
Way better than a pig. Flip sled actually has handles on it.
Yeah.
So you can actually like grip it and like almost clean it. So, and I don't think you have any problem with that. You're athletic. You can adapt.
So I've touched a flip sled because I went to Granite Games last year. But
yep, that's where I've touched one.
The teams, we pushed it. So I've never flipped it. And it was awful.
They had a booth there where you could actually like play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I probably should have gone over there and actually tried to flip it. But
I loved it way more than a tire. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So our tire at the gym is like, we got a second one, and it's probably not quite heavy enough, but it's similar. But I can't get underneath it anywhere. So I couldn't get my fingers underneath to even get it started.
Yeah, that's what's tough about the tires. You have to get so low. You don't have to get as low on the flip sled because the handles are not on the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious for that.
This one's going to be tough.
So
hopefully the arms relax a little after that first event, because that's going to be gross. But so that is Friday. Those 2 events, just 2 events, 1 and 2 Friday.
Yep. And then we have event 3, which is 2018 Games Handstand Walk Rewind, For time, 300-foot handstand walk, 60-foot course, 20 handstand walk obstacle, ramp, 20 hurdles, 20 handstand walk obstacle, stairs and stairs. Time cap is 10 minutes. Each 20-foot unbroken section completed is scored as 1 rep. You're good on your hands, but I've never seen you do an obstacle.
I've never touched a ramp or a stair in my life. So, yeah.
Hurdles? Like, is it just like stepping over them?
Yeah, they're like, if you swipe on that, I don't know if you can run it, it shows it. They're little, like, they're almost like the cutouts. They're just little, like, long yoga blocks is probably the best way to explain it. And I've actually been practicing, like, kettlebells with PVCs on them. And I actually think the moguls are going to be okay for me. It's whether or not I can get up and down this ramp that starts it.
So you think?
Like, yeah, those are.
Okay. Okay. I was picturing like the little, like the hurdles they had at Wadapalooza, where you had to do the hops.
Yeah, no.
And like a wire frame thing, but
almost like the parallel thing. But no, yeah, these aren't incredibly high, but they're also a little bit wider because they're those foam blocks. So you got to actually clear it pretty good. Yeah, it's the ramp that and the stairs. But to even start the event, I have to get up and down the ramp.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. I can't wait for Ronica to show us some footage of that. I'm volunteering her.
Mm-hmm. She'll get video.
So then we have event 4, 2016 regionals, event 1, rechase, 10 thrusters, then 8 thrusters, 6 thrusters, 4 and 2. So we're the good old fashioned ladder of thrusters. It ends in 175. You good 175? Oh
yeah, totally. Let's get there. No, I honestly don't even know if I can do 165 once. But time for thrusters take a lot out of me, so I think just getting through 10 and 8 is going to be a challenge. We'll see. I might I got to talk to Tristan about. I did some thrusters yesterday, just built to a heavy, but I'd like to somewhat try this so I know like how long to spend on the round of 10 in the round of 8.
I have confidence in you.
It's heavy. That's gross. And there's going to be people who like just move it. Like Hannah Black is here.
I know, but she's not in your division.
I know. I just, I never want to be last, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Listen, I know some of the people in your division, like, and you're going to be fine.
They're all strong.
Haley Murillo?
I think she's.
I would not call her a strength.
I think she's stronger than me. I guess we'll see.
You think everybody's stronger than you. We've got to get that out of your head.
All right.
All right. So I think we're up to here.
Number 5.
Number 5.
The hundreds. My favorite.
So it's funny. This is funny. It's funny you say that because I go CrossFit Polaris, Patrick O'Connell. People don't know this. Christy's husband was like a 7-time regionals athlete. His highlight of his CrossFit career, if you ask him, is the hundreds.
Oh, really?
Because he was in the same heat with Rich and Marcus Hendren and Graham Holmberg and Scott Panchek. And this is the highlight of his career.
Did he keep up with them?
He didn't tell me that part of the story. But my guess is he probably did. Like, just like a lot of people, like a Brian Wong, when you're caught in that region, like it was death row. Like you were not getting through that unless you were super elite. And I think like Patrick's an amazing athlete, and he just got the bad luck of being in the Central East region.
Yep.
So so let's go through this, because this looks like a Jamie workout from start to finish.
Kinda. It's definitely got some things.
100 total bar,
Love
100
it.
dual hang kettlebell snatch,
Yeah.
100 box jump overs, 100 dual kettlebell squats. Anyhow, so you're
So
gonna do that overhead?
yeah. Yeah, we know I love that position. The 24-inch box I think is definitely going to slow me down a little bit. I feel like I'm one of the shortest ones coming. So
Yeah, but I have a picture of you floating over a 20-inch box, like by quite a bit. It's a really good picture too.
100 total bar, unbroken or die. I would Chandler Smith right off of that bar.
So what? So you're not going to go unbroken on the total bar?
No. I need to save some grip. I hope that I make like a pretty good dent in that and get ahead, because I think I'm a slower box jumper than most people, and I know I'm a slower squatter than most people, so I just need to be ahead, which sucks because we all know I don't like to be ahead in a workout, but I think I gotta make my gains early on this one.
I love the kettlebell snatch. It's one of my favorite things about CrossFit. All day long. Especially with that weight.
I don't mind single arm. I don't love double, but we'll see.
It's all the same.
Okay. I get to practice this one tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. I wish they changed their. Here we go. So that's the what?
I think that's that might be the first event on Sunday. So I think we do the handstand walk thruster on Saturday, and then that to start Sunday. Unless this is the only thing on Sunday, I kind of forget. But this is a little combo finale.
Yeah. And they talked about it today on Shut Up and Scribble a lot, because Taylor was the test athlete for JR for this workout. And JR wrestled a lot because he wanted the ring muscle up to be something that you had to really decide whether you were going unbroken or not.
No.
And that's what he said. Like, there are going to be athletes that are going to push it and say they can do it. And there are going to be athletes that say, no, I'm going to wait. I'm going to save it for the back half, which is the second part.
Mm-hmm.
So it is 2019 Games Sprint Couplet Re-Ring, which is 14 or 12 ring muscle ups, 70-meter sled push, 45 or empty, and then 14 or 12 ring muscle ups to finish. Time cap 5 minutes, 2-minute transition rest into 2012 Games Med Ball Handstand Push-Up Rebag, which is 4 times 7 sandbag to shoulder, 200, 125, 14, 12 parallel handstand push-ups, 14-inch, 9-inch, 7 sandbag to shoulder, 200, 125. Well, that 125 should feel light after last week.
Yeah, let's hope. It's only 7 of them, right?
Yep. So
I don't know if it'll be light enough to touch and go, but.
So where do you see yourself in these?
Bottom half of the re-ring and hopefully top half of the rebag. I mean, I love handstand push-ups. I just don't know if there's enough there to counteract the sandbag.
Yeah, there's going to be people that struggle with a 9-inch deficit parallel handstand push-up.
Well, yeah, I mean, for sure, depending on how hard you go in on those ring muscle ups.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that combination. And how much did you sell your soul on the first part, and how much do you have left on the second part?
So it reminds me a lot of the finale of Legends last year. That was a similar two-parter, and you went bar muscle up, and I think it was like 10, maybe. I don't remember how many it was. 10, I think, and 2 front squats, back to bar muscle up, and then same type of thing, short time frame, 5-6 minutes, 1 or 2 minute transition into sandbagged shoulder, strict handstand push-ups. I believe it was strict handstand push-ups. So that was, I mean, it's a very, very similar, which I much preferred that workout because it's bar muscle ups. I love bar muscle ups. Don't love ring muscle ups.
Corey, who now after competing at MFC knows how to compete. If I'm doing this, I'm going fast singles on the sandbag. As soon as it hits the ground, I'm getting it back up.
Yeah, I can't really do that. It's either touch and go for me or it's a full reset. Like, I don't know. Sandbags are weird for me.
It's got to feel light though, compared to what you just did. And the volume's way different.
Yeah.
Like you did like 20 some at MFC, 30, 20.
4, so 12 in that round. 6. I think 18. I don't know. Something like that.
Close to 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So those are the workouts. How you feeling going in? What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably the hundreds, because it's like the one longer event. I like event 2. I just honestly have no idea how a flip sled's gonna feel. So like, it's gonna take me 30 seconds to do one flip sled and I'm standing there resting, or am I gonna be able to just like flip that thing and get back to running? I mean, I love running in GHDs, so it's really how fast can I go on that and move that flip sled relatively quickly. It's like a 16-minute time cap. That's 4 minutes around. I mean, I can't anticipate you're gonna like sprint your run, or otherwise you're gonna be dying. So if you're like anywhere close to 2 minutes on your run, a minute on your GHGs, that gives you 1 minute to flip the sled 7 times. That seems aggressive.
Yeah. I thought the flip sled was way easier than other apparatus that I flipped. I think it's the easiest of the bunch. But I don't want to put that into your head until you've touched one, because it may be different for you than it is for me.
Yeah. That's the last thing I want, is to be like, oh yeah, it's fine. You're going to flip it once every 10 seconds and be done in a minute 10. And even if I did that, I wouldn't even finish the workout. So I don't want to have high expectations of this one. I just think it'd be amazing if it felt somewhat easy and I was able to flip them quick, but I don't anticipate that being the case.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. And we'll figure out how we're going to do the shows next week with you there, and maybe use Ronica. Maybe I'll have like Corey jump on with me again, and we'll analyze some stuff from here. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But Corey also says, just because it's been a minute now, y'all, any super chats today get donated to Jamie's travel fund for Crash. Y'all make it rain. And so anything, Corey is correct. Anything we make today through donations goes straight to Jamie's travel fund for Crash. So just want to make, we've already had, I don't know, like $85 thrown in there. So pretty awesome. Let's move on to Alexis Raptis, who I think is talking to Pedro right now.
Oh, really?
Has made the rounds this week through Spin, Savon this morning, and Peter. Now, she talked about her colitis and it forcing her to withdraw from Rogue, and that actually it was Bali Belly, where she and her mother went to Bali, which crazy story. We have a show where we do fun and fitness in Bali, and Hattie ran into Alexis there when she was working out and stuff. And little did I know that was when everything was going poorly for Miss Raptis, and that she was not going to be able to compete at Rogue.
Yeah, I'm curious. Has Hattie, this is not Hattie's first time going to Bali, right? She's been there. Yeah. Has she had any experience with this Bali Belly?
I have not. So Hattie's actually in the middle of a retreat where people can sign up and come do adventures with her this week.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to talk to her this week. And that's why we didn't do a show. And I just learned of this last night. So I'm anxious to talk to Hattie to see how common this actually is. And Jamie has completely frozen.
Was that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Whoa. Lucas just got home. He's probably starting his games up and using all the bandwidth. All right.
Yeah,
am I back normal?
You are.
Okay.
So yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to Hattie, but I will as soon as her retreat's done, and we'll find out how common that is.
Yeah, I'm super curious on that. Like, yeah, just crazy story. I mean, it sounds like it's from drinking their water.
Yeah. Water and ice. Yeah. I mean, I know when I travel, like my stomach sometimes gets sensitive to just the stuff around, but nothing like what, and I don't have colitis either that is easily aggravated.
Yeah. That was nice of her to come out with that post. I mean, you never know what some of these athletes are dealing with.
Yeah. So that's that story. I feel bad for Alexis because I've always felt like I was her bad luck charm. When I was with Morning Chalk Up, I interviewed her literally like minutes before the final event at West Coast Classic. She was sitting in a qualifying position and lost it on the last event that year. I interviewed her post that, and when I saw her then the following year at the MAC or Syndicate, whichever one she was at, I asked for an interview right before the last event, and she actually declined it. And I think she was like, I'm not doing that again.
She talked to us at semifinals.
She did.
In Orlando. So.
And I just think it was the exact same moment in the competition weekend. And she's like, I'm not doing that bad luck thing again.
Fair enough.
So the next thing I want to talk about is on my weight loss show yesterday, we expanded on what we're doing for our monthly challenge. And if people didn't know, my goal is to do Murph RX-ish. I know full RX is with a vest. I am not doing it with a vest, but back to full body weight pull-ups, squats, and push-ups. And so the first challenge is push-up month. And the first week is 150 push-ups in the week.
Okay.
And so if you're going to do it with us, because some people have asked to go ahead and do it with us, all we're asking is post a couple pictures, hashtag push-up challenge, Clydesdale push-up challenge, and tag us in it so that we can share the community kind of doing that together. So one thing I'm doing that's kind of fun is I have 4 steps from here to my landing, and I can't get a ton of volume at full body weight push-up. So I do as many as I can, and then I go up a step and I do more, and then I go up another step and do more, and up another step. And that way I'm kind of scaling it, but getting more volume in at one time. And it's fun. It's actually like a fun little game I get to play with myself, trying to get my volume up in those moments.
I love that. It's kind of like a foray into the weekly workout that we were trying to get you to do. This like baby steps into that. I like this.
Yeah. The biggest, and we talked about that yesterday too. The biggest thing with my live workout is my garage is full of stuff that my daughter has dropped off here. And I gave her the ultimatum, get what you want. Everything else is going. And so I made the bulk pickup call, and they're coming in a week and a half to come get a bunch of the stuff.
There you go.
Because I have enough room to work out, but it's not really ideal to like show live on the air.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good start. I think it'll get people participating, and yeah, I like it.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about is Dave's Week in Review. He addressed one big thing about the games that we've been talking about on this show, and that is that they are working with somebody in Fort Worth to get an RV park for the games. And I think that is crucial to kind of continue the community aspect of the games and having a place where people can go hang out, do activations, do workouts, do different things like that. And to have that available. Now it's going to be hot as hell camping in Fort Worth at that point, but some of those RVs have probably nicer air conditioning units than my house.
Yeah. Yeah, those workouts will be hot, but yeah, that was a huge part of the experience. I mean, Mayhem did a great job this year getting their station set up and all those workouts. So if they're planning on going and doing it big again, I think it's crucial to have that environment.
YouTube shows that. Yep. I don't know if they're going to have Wi-Fi. That's one of the things we're going to have to find out. Because I know even the early era Madison, the campground did not have Wi-Fi. But it apparently did. It apparently did in the last little bit because Mayhem did a full live show thing daily from there. So they must have done something to get that over there. And Jay Birch says there are over 200 RV sites around Dickies. And I think that we kind of knew that, but Dave it seemed more specific to like have something close to the arena and a community area where people could kind of hang out in addition to that. So I'm super excited about that. The Holiday Inn in Fort Wayne also did not have Wi-Fi. Well, we cannot confirm it did because we could not get it. We could not access it. It said it did, but every passcode we put in failed miserably.
That's ridiculous.
So then the other thing is he mentioned, and I wanted to get your take on this, is he mentioned something. It started off as talking about a team series, right? And everybody kind of competing in the team series and doing all of that. And then it morphed into one thing that he thought would be cool, and it actually was suggested to him by Bill Henniger, was that we should do a mayhem versus proven versus hard work pays off. He left out a lot of camps.
He did leave out a lot of camps
in this, but those are the ones he mentioned. And that, and so I wanted to get your impression. Would you be interested in a camp throwdown?
So I think I saw Brian kind of bring this up, and there'd have to be some serious like ground rules set about this. I mean, I get what he's saying.
Event organizers, we're media. We get to just carelessly get to talk about it.
Yeah, but it's got to be done right. Like, it can't just be. And this is something you and I did when we tried to like rank the camps, right? Like, who's actually a part of the camp? And just because I was following TTT programming, was I part of TTT? I mean,
I don't know.
Mayhem has hundreds of thousands of followers, but would you say that they're part of the camp? I wouldn't. I would say it's like the 7-8 people that are there, like Bailey, Paige, Roman, Logan, Rich, and Tyler.
I know there'd have to be a lot of ground rules around this,
right?
Because depending on the popularity of it, like you could say, hey, Justin, just put our name on this for one, but just go do your own thing and when you're working out and training, right?
Right.
There's a lot of room for corruption. I agree completely. But just on the surface, I think it would be huge for the sport. It's just like college football. It's just like we all have our favorite kind of camps, or a lot of us do the programming from a camp, right? Mm-hmm. And so you feel like like this guy, right? Corey Leonard. Comp train has so few athletes nowadays, they'd have to use me, which would be a nightmare. He does comp train programming, right? And they do have, and I know we rip on comp train a lot, but they still have Sydney, and they still have the teen Irish girl that's really good and competed at semis, even though she's only 16. Anyway,
Lucy McGonigal?
Yeah. Her.
I didn't know she was comp trained.
She is.
Okay.
Yeah. She's trained by Jarrett Smith. Just like some. But anyway, I think because of those ties, like ACR does HWPO, she'd have a tie to HWPO and want them to do well because that's her programming, right? Like it would have like a much more vested interest in it. Kenneth says this, and I'm sorry, Kenneth, I got to completely disagree with you. Affiliate Cup is greater than Camp Throwdown. Affiliate Cup might be better than Camp Throwdown if we had a true Affiliate Cup, but we don't.
Totally agree. The idea of a proper affiliate cup, I think, is perfection. I think that's what the sport needs. I think like still train, because that's the thing. Like you want to train with these people. Like when you say like you get behind your sports teams, well, you're behind them because those people train together every day, and that's the beauty of this. Not just my garage, I'm following this. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I split something else and pull one piece from something else I saw online. Like it's the training together that I think is what we want to see if the results come from.
But I'm okay with, I'm like, Ricky is an underdogs athlete, right? Even though he's not in Vegas all the year. But he gets his program from Justin. He talks to Justin daily. He is an underdogs athlete. Kyra Milligan is an underdogs athlete. Ricky and Kyra are not doing the same workouts. And I'm okay with that. Just like an offensive lineman is not doing the same workouts as a wide receiver, right? When you're watching football,
Yeah.
but they're training under the same umbrella, the same roof.
Yeah, I can see your argument for someone like Ricky. Some of these like overseas athletes who want to be on a US team, I can see. Kyra would be a tricky one for me because yes, she's maybe an underdogs athlete, but she like was at Mayhem training with Mayhem and doing Mayhem's programming. Like
She left Mayhem now, and she's an individual athlete in Vegas. That's the version I was thinking.
okay, fair enough.
So, yeah. So Alex Gazan is a better example. Alex is in Vegas doing all that stuff. Her and Rick, her overhead, her push strength is good. Ricky's is bad. They're not doing the same workouts because of that. Does that make?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably going to be the case with individual programming is things are going to be tailored to you, which also means they're not doing the same thing as ACR on HWPO.
Right. But in name alone, that ACR feels a connection to HWPO.
Yeah,
like she felt strongly enough to purchase their programming. So she's going to root for them in any kind of competition. And I don't know, I guess like, does it come down to, Kenneth is very adamant in the chat about that Philly Cup is better and all this kind of stuff, right? Does the camp versus camp become battle of the network stars as opposed to like the Olympics, right? Like a one-off thing that's just kind of fun and do that. I think with the development of the sport, we're going to get a better idea of which one is which.
Yeah. I do like the idea of the coaches having to participate because we kind of know who those are, right?
Yeah.
That would provide some buy-in. And like that would have some hype.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's where you might lose some people to participate because like there seems to be this thing where Matt and Rich do not want to go head to head.
Right.
In anything ever again.
I agree. No, Rich might be willing to at this point.
And I think that's where, and I guess this is where Kenneth is right. He said do it through Fit Wars, and I'm all for it. This would be an off-season thing. This would not be like an official, like part of the CrossFit Games or part of the championship season or whatever ends up coming down the road, right? This would be something to do like the when the US took on the world and US took on Canada, Australia, and Europe. What do we call that? That was the oh my gosh. It's whatever. They had it every year for a while.
I know we just talked about this a few weeks ago.
I know. I'm just having brain farts today.
Was it the International Cup? I don't know how they labeled it.
Invitational. The Invitational.
The invitation. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of my favorite things ever. And if we could get something like that, where it's like a one-day event, everybody kind of throws down at the same time, 2 or 3 events, I think it could be fun. You could sell jerseys. You could sell merch, just like they did for the Invitational, right? Everybody had their Canada or their Europe or their USA.
I think if Dave truly likes the idea of this, Ken's got a point. Do it through open announcements. Like have 3 or 4 teams someone that we all know actually represents that program show up to these announcements and see. Like, I think that'd be cool. That's a great way to start it.
I agreed. But I think right now everybody's in free agency mode, so we don't really know where anybody is quite yet.
Yeah. What a cooler way to see. Then they show up at open announcement and you're like, oh, you're so-and-so actually maybe signed with HWPO.
Like Christine Kohlenbrander was HWPO until like a month before the games.
Yeah. She just sort of started showing up in their videos,
and here she'd been quietly doing their stuff. So, all right, so let's finish up this show with a couple things. We talked about it a little bit as a teaser, the Portsmouth documentary with Dale King. I watched it on Tuesday. One of the most impactful things I've ever seen. Amazing documentary. When Dale said on the Sevon podcast that there was a big twist and it was the reason behind doing this whole thing, the whole time I'm watching, I'm looking for the twist. Didn't find it until it happened. And it was such a big thing that it wrecked me.
Yeah.
Like totally wrecked me. And go ahead.
I heard him on Coffee Pods and Wads also talking to Pedro, and he was also like, I don't want to ruin anything, but holy cow. And so I feel like I probably know what happens, but I really want to watch. I'm going to try to do that Sunday night, like get Lucas.
I thought it happened too.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
But
I was really wrong. So anyway, it has a big twist.
Okay.
It's not anything you're going to expect. Corey said he cried like a baby. Dale King is an angel. He is. I cried like a baby to the point my wife was checking on me because I was sobbing pretty hard. The other thing for me that made this very, very impactful is that it's part of the documentary happens here in Columbus, where they take Sarah, one of the recovering addicts who is running the packaging shop for Dale in Portsmouth, and they bring her back to Columbus where she used to use. And she shows them like where it was she would come, and it was under an overpass. And she said it's worse today there than when she was using.
Oh man.
And that was literally when I used to work downtown, like probably a couple 100 yards from my office.
Crazy.
And it was insane. The other thing that freaked me out is in this documentary, my doctor is the expert on dopamine and its effect on the brain. My doctor with Wild Health is the person that they use for all of that. So seeing him on the screen was like, wait, that's my doctor. What is he doing? What's he doing here? And it was so crazy. But yeah, it was, if you have not seen it, and it shows how out of nowhere this stuff can get into your family, your friends, your community. It is crazy. So, yeah, check it out, please. Please check it out.
Yeah.
I beg of you. So, before we go, one last time, all proceeds from any super chats, any thank yous. If you want to contact me and Venmo me, all proceeds today go to help Jamie pay for her trip to South Carolina. So we want to help her get there. This is a big week for her where she gets to go meet with her coach and gets to go through a competition with her coach. So if you want to support that cause, please either shoot me a DM and you can Venmo me, or we can do it by super chat or whatever, and we'll get those over to Jamie as soon as possible. And just a couple show announcements. I actually determined in the last 24 hours, I want to let everybody know that I'm not going to Rogue. It breaks my heart, but I just cannot justify the expense it's going to cost to go there, to cover an event where I'm only allowed for the whole weekend 30 seconds of footage. Like, it just doesn't make financial sense to do that. I'm gonna put my money elsewhere and support other parts of the community that don't get the support that people do at Rogue. And so I have decided I'm going to Legends for sure. I already bought my plane ticket for Legends. So we'll support the Masters community there. And do that. And there I can get a lot more footage. I can get a lot more interaction with the athletes, a lot more stuff, and get more bang for our buck here on the show. It's not sorry. I love Rogue and I love the event, but there's so many events going on for us to pay attention to. And Rogue's going to be covered by all the big names.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's going to be there covering it, and that's fine. And we're going to cover it too. We're still going to do shows. I'm going to watch Rogue every day. We'll do nightly recaps, the whole bit. It's just I'm not going to be there in person. I'm going to choose to do that with other parts of the community that don't get the footage that Rogue does, and give them their due. And then we are still going to I'm still in negotiations with my wife. I may show up at Crash. I may, but I don't know yet, because it all depends on her her family lives in that area, and if I'm going there, she has to go with me, and it just depends on how much time she has with everything she has going on in her family. Does she have enough time for us to get there? So yeah, so super stoked. So we may show up at Crash. Prediction show where we pick all Canadian podium.
I'm in.
All right, let's go. Only on the male side.
Yeah, for Rogue?
For Rogue. And I'm not even, I would not pick an all Canadian podium at Rogue.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
Adler, I'm still picking him.
Yeah, I would say Jeff. Is Brent there?
I think so.
So then I would say Jeff, Pat, Brent.
I don't know. I give me time to think, but I'm guessing Dallin Pepper I would put in the top 3 for Rogue.
Dallin's not Canadian.
I didn't say I was picking all Canadian.
I thought that's what we were doing.
So anyway, thanks, Dan. And you crush it covering Masters athletes. Yeah, we got so much bang for a buck covering, because nobody else was there covering MFC, and it really paid dividends for us being there. And I had so much fun hanging out with that crew. That maybe we're going to rewind it and do it at Legends. Plus, it gives me the opportunity to see the 2 major Masters competitions and how things will move towards next year in the age group divisions. And it gave me a better sense of like analyzing that whole thing. So I think that is really more important. And it's Arizona in December, and to get out of the cold for a little bit, not too shabby.
When do you think we'll get another announcement from Dave?
In his week in review, it sounded like soon, but
okay.
Here we are on Thursday, and I've seen nothing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I try to watch those as soon as they come out, because usually there's a clue or 2 in there, but nothing. And so that's all I have in my notes. I want to thank Mama Schweitzer, who I'm assuming is going to Venmo me her money, but then Corey and Bruce for their donations to the Jamie Travel Fund. Again, anything donated to this show today, either through thank yous after we go off live or in the chat now as a super chat, goes to Jamie's travel fund to Crash to help support her compete there. Thank you, everybody, for donating. Thank you, everybody, for being here and participating in the chat. Love you all. Love hanging out with you guys. And next week, after next week, we'll be back to our normal 8 o'clock time. Next week, I don't know when we're going to be because we just have to find out when Jamie is in North or South Carolina, what time athlete briefing and all that kind of stuff is. Once we get that figured out, we'll put together a show at live. She'll be live from Crash. Maybe I'll be live from Crash. Who knows? With that, we will catch everybody next time on Thursday night CrossFit Talk. Go
Thank
Bears.
you so much, guys.
We're about to change the game. We